Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote into the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can apply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can just say hi. You can use other people's emotes. You can be a lurker and not say anything. That's cool. It's Thursday night. Lashbrook is here. Ghost Valve is here. Welcome to both of you. The plan of action tonight is we got the Gundam Schwarzette. It's almost done. We could have hung out a little longer on Monday to finish it up, but I didn't want to. So we're going to finish that up, apply some more stickers, get this looking perfect, figure out how these big sword pieces that are also fins on the back of the kit, how they fit together. We'll do that. And then, when that's over, we're going to move on to the Freedom Gundam real grade. That's right. It's a real grade from the year 2011. It's one of the only real grades that I from that era that I haven't done. Back when real grades were a little sketchy. It has been described as kind of annoying to put together, and ooh, I don't know about that one, Pat. So that should be fun. But we're working on that real grade for the next while because real grades take a while to build. Tonight's agenda. We'll talk a little bit about the European Union and them not liking somebody and his disinformation campaigns. We'll talk about some wrestling, some video game news, a new 24/7 watch ads, but you can watch it free thing that might interest some of you. And of course, the first big announcement from New York Comic Con that pertains to this stream. We'll chat about it. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. Happy to have you here. Yeah, we'll get into that. There's some stuff to talk about when it comes to that. People that have been here for a while know I might know that I have opinions. Oh wait, before we get into it, I did just get tagged by somebody. The last 3 days, just in the last 3 days, the number of spam messages that I have gotten, both DMs and just people adding me in a long list of other people, be it Bitcoin or otherwise, or prizes or whatever, that number is dramatically increased. It was pretty quiet on Twitter for a little bit there. It is no longer quiet. It is now fucking annoying again. Anyway, we're gonna get into working on some stickers here. We gotta apply some stickers. Our Schwarzette is almost done, but these stickers need to get applied on here, and then we will move these into figuring them together. We'll put it together a sword, then we'll take the sword apart and we'll put them on the back there, or maybe we'll do the back first and then the sword. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're gonna get 2 photos out of here. As you may remember from previous streams, we do not need to use these stickers. We chose to use these instead because we want the cool, vibrant stickers, not the less cool, not very vibrant stickers. So let's see. We want this one here, and it's going to go there. Great. Put that there. So we just gotta. These are heavy-duty stickers, so I don't want to break them, or I want my cuts to go. I want my blade to go underneath it. So we got to get underneath there without slicing it. Oh. No, that's not it. That's not right. Jesus. All right. Other idea is to go and you start breaking on the outside so that you can then slip underneath. This one sticker did not want to come off. It did not want to unstick. It was wild. It fought me all the time, the whole way. Wild. Anyway. Let's talk about Dragon Ball Daima. Dragon Ball Daima was announced. Going back a little bit, for a while there have been teases. You might have seen this on the Twitter machine. There have been teases of there's going to be a new Dragon Ball series. It's not going to be related to Heroes. It's going to be on the web. It'll be a web animation. It might even be short episodes. But it's coming, and they were like, oh, we're going to hear about it at this thing. We're going to hear about it at this thing. Well, to celebrate the 40th anniversary, they're going to do a thing. And we didn't hear anything about it. And nobody had really, good leaks. They just had leaks. And so it was like, we don't know what's going to happen. Well, we know what's happening now. An announcement was made. Details are still coming in about this, but here are the things that I can tell you about this anime that it will be appearing. Is this the right sticker? Did I fuck this up somehow? No, it's just weird. Yeah, okay. There it is. It just fit in weird. There we go. All right. Dragon Ball Daima, I should say, not Die. Dragon Ball Daima will release in fall 2024. Again, it is rumored to be a net animation. It is rumored to be short episodes. We don't know that for sure. What we do know is it is set after the events of Dragon Ball Z, before the events of Dragon Ball Super. And specifically, I should say, after the events of the second to last episode of Dragon Ball Z, because all of Dragon Ball Super takes place before the end episode of Dragon Ball Z, which is the tournament where we meet Pan for the first time, and we meet Oob, who is the reincarnation of most of the Boos. The evil Boo got reincarnated on Earth and soul transferred into the body of a young child. And then the show ends with Goku deciding he's going to go off and train Oob to be a strong fighter to then be able to fight him. So this is in between Dragon Ball Z and Super. Again, not the last episode. Also, you have to retcon some of the events of the last episode, because the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, a bunch of characters meet Pan for the first time, but in Super, some of them already met Pan. So you have to retcon that. But apparently this is canonical. This is the events in between Dragon Ball Z, the second to last episode, and Dragon Ball Super starting. Now you might ask yourself, Pat, if a bunch of adventures happens in between there, why don't they ever reference them? Good question. Next question. That most likely there will be some event at the end of it. So, okay, there's more Dragon Ball. They're not doing a continuation of Super, even though there is manga from Super that they have not explored yet. That seems weird. Yes, it does. It seems weird that they're not continuing with Super. But Heroes seems to be pretty popular. And why? Why would they do this? Well, we don't quite know. But we do know what they're doing. They're making Goku young again, and they're making everybody else young again as well. They're like quadrupling down on the worst Dragon Ball. They're doing the make Goku young, but not in mind, but in attitude, because he's always kind of young. They're fucking making him teeny tiny young, and they're making everybody else teeny tiny young. And they're going to travel in space and go on adventures. Maybe they'll do it right this time. No, Lord Catchington, I can't imagine they will. I don't fucking understand. I don't know. I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why this is the thing they're doing. Now, is this an excuse to tell old stories from the 40th anniversary, the many, many years of Dragon Ball? Maybe. But you know what they could do? Just retell those old stories. Retell those old stories with modern animation. Do some fucking Dragon Ball Dragon Ball stories with a modern animation. Do like Goku telling stories to, Pan or to Goten or whatever. And just be like, yeah, back in my day, when I was young, oh, you want to know how I met so-and-so? Did Toriyama accidentally hire a big fan of GT? Seems like that would be a major HR issue. So no, I mean, you may remember that my theory is that GT is a punishment. GT exists to punish fans that were unwilling to accept the idea of anyone but Goku as the main character. That the presentation of Gohan, teenage crime-fighting superhero Gohan, was met with such a vitriol from Japanese fans that GT fucking happened. So no, in my opinion, this is not Toriyama is credited with coming up with these designs. These character designs and the rough outline are provided by Akira Toriyama. So, at the very least, he should be mad that they're saying that he had something to do with this, if he didn't. But no, this seems to be Akira Toriyama continuing to punish us. A new generation must suffer. Will there be an annoying robot? Who can say? Luckily, we don't have a weird version of Trunks because it's just the crybaby. It's not the crybaby. It's not the I was raised pampered Trunks. He hasn't been raised pampered yet. He's still just whatever. He's kind of cocky hangout. They did a recap of DBZ at the beginning of Superhero that looked amazing, that I've been wanting them to do a full remaster in that style since the movie came out. Lashbrook, that's not what this is, though. That sounds cool. That's not this. This is net animation of chibi-fied Dragon Ball characters set sometime between DBZ and Super. So you don't even get Barris in there. No blue. I don't know. I don't know why they're doing this. Like I said, a retrospective in a new art style could have been fucking, or in a modern art style could have been cool as shit. Yes, even Supreme Kai got shrunk. Yes, everyone got shrunk. I know, but you mentioned something about they should have done a retelling. Yes, indeed, Lashbrook. They could have done this. Like, the thing that I would like is the idea of story time with Goku. Goku telling stories, and then we see those stories in a modern context or modern animation style would be neat. Because I think Dragon Ball holds up, except where it doesn't. But it doesn't look fucking rad all the time. It looks classic. Just as Goten and Trunks really get an age to be cool. Indeed. Pros. Animation looks very good. Goku is cute. Cons. It's like what if Dragon Ball GT went Super Saiyan. I mean, Meadows at last. Here's the thing, right? I don't need Goku to be cute. He does look cute. I'm not going to disagree with you there. Goku does look cute in this. That's fun. But like, what if you don't need that? Because you got Goten. You got Pan. You got cute if you want cute. We got Marrow is there. We got Krillin's baby. Krillin's baby is adorable. We don't need more cute. What if DBZ was remade in a chibi style? That also could be fun. I don't know. I think the idea of telling a new story is fun. I think the placement of the story is weird. And I think doing Dragon Ball GT but more is very weird. Will there be an alien named Baby? Will there be an annoying robot? I don't know. Who can say? Will they have to fight dragons who were created after wishes granted by Earth, by the planet, and they're manifestations of those wishes, and they're mad? I don't know. Here's the thing that I want to know. Will there be a new Super Saiyan? Like Ultra Instinct, forget it. Sorry. Fuck off, Ultra Instinct. We're done with you. Super Saiyan God? No. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan? No. We haven't figured that out yet. Can't do that yet because we don't know what that is yet. Are they going to turn into monkeys? I'm also kind of torn because why not just do more Super? But I also don't really think the manga arcs are after Super ended. You really don't like the manga arcs after Super. Yeah, I mean, there's more. Here's the thing. There is material they could just adapt, and they're choosing not to adapt that. They all get turned back into adults, and then, like, 3 weeks later, Barris lands on Earth. Yes, Meadow. Meadow at last. It does seem like that. So, Pilaf and crew got tiny. I thought that was explained in the beginning of Super or Dimension. I thought they explained how they got tiny. I don't think... Lashbrook, I definitely don't think this whole exercise is just to explain a character, a weird thing that they did. I don't think that's the reason they're doing this, is just to explain that. It could be the reason they're doing this, but I'd like to think there's more going on. Than that this exists. I mean, this exists because they think it'd be fun. That's, to me, that seems to be the thing. All right, so this was supposed to connect to that, and then this was supposed to connect to that, but it doesn't. So did I do this wrong? These are supposed to be B17. Are these not B17? Let me see. Let me see. These are B18. I took B18 out instead of B17. These are the wrong little pegs. I got the wrong pegs, everybody. Fucked up. This is the wrong peg. These are B18. I got 3 different sets of tiny pegs to make this transition work, or these things work, and I grabbed the wrong ones. I need a B17. So yeah, new series, story, character designs, all new series called Diama, fall 24 release, and there's a timeline thing in there trying to remind you what's going on. Toriyama created that, supposedly came up with the storyline, and yeah. It'll be a net thing. According to the DBZ Wiki, at some point during the 3 years before the android's arrival, the Pilaf gang used Dragon Balls to wish for their youth. However, Shenron made them a little too young. That makes sense, and then by the time we met them again in Super, they had aged. Yeah, that makes sense. They had aged enough to be characters in Super. Because one, it was like a weird thing. It was weird to do. But 2, I think it's because Toriyama remembered that Mai was a character and he never really did anything with her. So he made her young so that she would grow up to be future Trunks' partner. Because he... this is real. This is real. He forgot about Lunch. Toriyama forgot who Lunch was. There's like people had asked like, hey, when like Goku needs everybody to help out and all of the world puts their hands up, Lunch isn't there. What happened to Lunch? He was like, I forgot about Lunch. I forgot about that character. My bad. So honestly, I think he just remembered who Mai was. But also current Trunks and Mai flirting is super weird. Yes, Dragon Ball Super, young Trunks flirting with regains her youth Mai is fucking weird. Because she's an older, much older lady. Yes, you're right. It is fucking weird. And then by the time they get to the future, for future Trunks, Mai is ancient, and it's weird. It's very weird. All right, let's do the sword version of this, and then we have to disassemble. We got to take the blade out. Then we have to disassemble this so that we can work on the other version of this. But we'll do the big cool sword version first. Because the big cool sword is big and cool. Gotta do the big cool sword. All right, so this goes into this peg here. That hides in there. And then this pops in on top. And then, yeah. That pops in like that. Cool. And now we've got a cool big sword. We got a cool big beam sword, or not beam, cool big blunt sword. We got our cool sword now. We can put that in there. And then we'll turn this into other things. But first we'll take a photo of the cool big sword. DBC's version of big, indeed. Yes. It's just, there's so much of it. It's all weird, and I don't know. Look, I hope it's great. I hope it's fun and great. I don't know. I can't really say much besides that. I hope it turns out awesome. But it's weird that it's not Super, and it's weird that it's set in between Z and Super. And it's fucking very weird that it's Muppet Babies. It's fucking Muppet Babies. And you're like, well, Pat, Muppet Babies never went to space. You're wrong. An early episode of the Muppet Babies, they imagine space, and then in the 2020s reboot of Muppet Babies that Disney did, which is fine, they go to space in that. It's a whole fucking thing. So the Muppet Babies already did it. They did it twice. They went to space, and they also went to space. I guess the Spieloff gang wish is shown in DB Super manga and never made it to the show, but Bulma takes them in, and Trunks grows up with Mai. Yes, yes. That's why I thought it was in Super, but that's just because I read it in the manga. Okay. All right. So, big sword, photo, done. Now we have to turn this big sword back into a beam blade, and then we have to turn this into. There's 4 different ways we can do here. We can have all of these cool blade things show up on one side. We can have them be in like an X Factor. We can have, like, there's a bunch of different ways to do it. I think I know which way I want to do it. I think I want to do it X-ish style, kind of like the Gundam X, because I think that's neat. So we'll put the beam sword back, and then we have to turn these into one of these, because there's 4 different ways we can do it. But we're going to do this one, because it's kind of like an X style. So let me figure out which one. It's this one. This is the one I want to do. Okay. So get our components. These are, which B's are these? These are B. This is B17, and those are B18. Okay, so this is B17. See if I can pop these out without being it weird. These are B17. I'm going to put them over here because I don't know which ones I need to use. I got to look at it. Might also be a bit in Battle of the Gods. Totally. I don't know. I do not know. I do know another thing. Another thing from Crunchyroll that you might be interested in is 24 hours of anime. That's right. They finally did it. Crunchyroll finally went and did it. Unlimited anime. It's back, baby. Okay, so I need for this G. G is B16, which is the ones I haven't used yet. It's these 2. Great. We're going to take these out. So Crunchyroll is launching a 24/7 channel, which you can watch on LG channels, on LG Smart TVs, Amazon Freevee, which is on a bunch of stuff, which is their ad-supported free streaming service or round-the-clock channel, or the Roku channel will have Crunchyroll as well, and Vizio Watch Free Plus, which I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know if the world is really, finally ready for unlimited anime, but it sounds like unlimited anime is coming, everybody. So get ready. Okay, we also need F. We do need F, and F is B18, which is the ones we just used, or was that 17? This is confusing and annoying. I would say just do it one way and keep it that way. B17 were the ones we just used. Those are over there. So B18 are the other ones. Those are the small little pegs we didn't use. Great. I would normally just keep this as a sword, but or maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. We're going to figure out how to do this. So we got to do A, that. We got to do the short little ones go on this peg. Oops. Oh, no. Anyway, yeah. It's dubs, which is not surprising that it's dubs, but it's dubs. They're starting with dubs, which makes sense that they would start with the dubs. The list of dubs. Oh yeah. So it's English dub programming at launch. They say at launch, so there is the possibility that they could add subtitled works in the future. But right now, they are not saying that. They are just saying dubs, which, you know, I mean, that makes sense to start with as you ease people in. These are these again ad supported on you know, on TVs. Horimiya, Ranking of Kings, Moriarty the Patriot, Psychopaths, Era Fuerta, From Common Place to World's Strongest, Sugar Apple Fairy Tale, To Your Eternity, and Code Geass. Which is an interesting, weird, eclectic mix of shows. It is an odd assortment of shows. There is, of course, Era Fuerta is our isekai in there. You've got your historical fantasy like Moriarty the Patriot. You've got your feel-good adventure series, your Ranking of Kings. You've got, I mean, what else? What else is in there? Horimiya is your romance series, which is an interesting choice for the romance series. What else do we got? Your action series like Psychopaths, Sugar Apple Fairy Tale is another action series with some romance in it. That's there. Ooh, I put this on in the wrong place. I did this wrong. And of course, Code Geass. Oh, To Your Eternity is your sad, really sad series. Your kind of beautiful moments to then make you feel very bad series. So that's interesting to have that there. And of course, Code Geass is your mecha series, grim dark bullshit. So, you know, something for everybody. Yeah, a little bit of everything, kind of interesting. So they said that this is their original program. This is the start of the programming block, but there will be promotional, genre, and themed programming blocks to be scheduled. So I don't think that there are going to be. I'm guessing that this is not them saying, oh well, you know, we've got a bunch of stuff, you know, like new shows, right? You're not going to watch ad-supported new seasons of things. You're not going to watch simuldubs. But when shows are done and there's a dub of it, they'll put it in there. The way they say in this press release, at launch, network include English dub program at launch, does make me think there exists the possibility that they might put in some stuff, that they might put in some subtitled works, which I think would be a very, very cool thing. That is a cool opportunity to put some dubs in there, or some subs in there. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was neat. I think the ad-supported model is going to continue. The idea that, you know, like if you don't have Crunchyroll but you want to watch some anime, just tune in to some stuff and, you know, check the schedule of the programming block and put it on like your Roku. You know, that's kind of neat. I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. I also learned what Amazon Free V is because I never fucking heard of that shit, and that's Amazon's weird thing. All right, so this is the one I wanted to do. This is the way I wanted to display this. Like I said, there are 4 different ways to do it, but I thought that looked neat, so we're going to do that. You can also make them like flying blade things if you wanted. But I thought Free V used to be IMDb TV. Okay, it's their knockoff Tubi. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? Tubi just got in before a lot of other people. Everybody's gonna have a Tubi. Lots of people are gonna have the Retro Crush. Retro Crush is already anime Tubi, you know, like, and some of the anime stuff is on there. Now, the way that this works out being a channel, it won't be selectable, right? It's just going to be you turn a channel on in their programming blocks. So it's really just going for a television model on a streaming, you know, on a device like a Roku. So it's kind of blending those worlds. And I'll say this. Having a freemium, a free option with ads is way better to me than having your paid stuff also add in ads or add in more ads because that shit sucks. Ooh, I am dropping frames left and right. I'm back. Okay, we dropped some frames there. Hopefully everything will be good. I did realize that I was supposed to do something and didn't do it. And I just realized now that it's Thursday and I was supposed to set up my laptop for my dad so he could watch football. And I didn't do it. But he also didn't come to get me, which makes me assume that he doesn't care because it was not going to be a game that he actually wanted to watch. Crunchyroll used to allow you to watch stuff a week later with ads. That was their plan. The plan was that if there was new shows, you could watch 1 week after they aired, but you would see ads. So you'd be 1 week behind. They got rid of that shortly after Sony bought Crunchyroll. Because of course they did. Because why would they give that stuff away for free when they are not competing with Funimation anymore? No, my thinking is I messed up and no one called me out on messing up. So my guess is it's okay. I'll find out later if I have disappointed my father, but I don't think I have. I think we're okay. But I did fuck up because I was supposed to set that up and forgot because it's only been a couple weeks into the season. At least without ads. So, old stuff. There's some old stuff on Crunchyroll that you can still watch with ads, but nothing new. The stuff I'm going to be talking about tonight that came out this week, you can never watch that without having a monthly subscription to Crunchyroll. Some of the older material in Crunchyroll you can watch with ads for free. You're paying for with the ads. But anything new does not account anymore. That does not qualify for that. You cannot watch new material from Crunchyroll's library that they're subtitling or dubbing a week later. You've got to, with ads, you've got to pay. That announcement came out at almost immediately after the merger went through, because again, of course it did. Much like the many regions increasing their price went through. Some of the catalog stuff still isn't over from Funimation. Most of it is. Some of it isn't. All of this stuff was to be expected because fuck you, that's why. We're done here. We're done with this kit, and this was a fun build. I enjoyed it. I think the Schwarzette is a great looking kit. I love the beam blade, or the beam sword. I like these on the back here. I think it looks cool. I would do this way, I think, more than any other way, because I think it looks neat. I love the halo. I've always thought that was cool. And all of these very bright and colorful stickers I think are fantastic. And they were all the right call instead of the more drab, as you can see in the photo there. I think this is the way to go. And now I'm going to put it aside because it's done. I do think it's going to replace the rose because I think I've had the rose up for a little while and it's time to switch that out. But anyway, it's also time to switch over to the Freedom Gundam. It's the Freedom Gundam. This is a kit from 2011. This is a real grade, which means it is very detailed. If you've not seen me build a real grade before, it's been a little while since I built one. There's going to be a lot of parts and a lot of tiny pieces and some amount of stickers, but not like a wild amount of stickers, but some amount of stickers, and many little accent pieces and slides, water slides, or dry transfers that I won't be doing, but lots of stuff here. And because this is early on in the real grade era, the 2011, early on in the real grades. Oh, I got to switch over my photo, so let me do that here. Okay. It's early on in development of this. So a thing to know is we're starting with the feet. It's very strange to say that we're going to start with the feet and then work our way up. That's just so weird to say, but that is true. Start with the feet, work our way up. So let's do that. Other things we can talk about tonight. We got a few other things we can chat about. AW had a show on Tuesday instead of on Wednesday because of baseball. I should say for my friends who want to watch Collision this weekend, while it was reported on Tuesday that Collision would also be at early from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. Eastern Time, that has been changed due to the results of baseball. The schedule is returning to its original time. Collision will air this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on TNT. So if you're going to watch Collision live, it's not an hour early, which is still better going an hour early and finding out it's not there than it is showing up at 8 o'clock and realizing you've missed an hour of it. Lord Crashing is watching My Hero Academia on Hulu, so you see a lot of anti-abortion ads during its breaks, and I'm glad about our streaming future. Yeah, one of the reasons why I got off Hulu pretty early was I'm paying you money and I'm still seeing ads, and these ads are garbage. And it was very easy for me to not want to give Hulu money. It became very simple for me to decide that I did not want to give that. Because it's one thing to pay money, and it's another to see ads, and it's quite another for both. And I was not interested in both from Hulu. So yeah, they had a show. AEW had a show on Tuesday. They did a thing which I don't think they've ever done before, which is they had a match that happened early. They did a buy-in match. Now, my thinking is this match was probably going to be on Rampage, or which they record after Dynamite. So that's my thought is, well, they were going to do that match on Rampage. They just decided to do it as a pre-show. It also possibility exists that they were like, hey, Minoru Suzuki can get here. We're going to do an extra match. But they did a buy-in on YouTube, I guess with the idea that you would watch it for free and then you would get on your TV and watch AEW. I don't know if that worked. I know their ratings weren't better being on a Tuesday, but maybe that got the word out more than Tony Khan on Twitter. But either way, let's see. Why is this? What am I doing wrong here? Do you go like that? Okay, you go like that. Gotcha. But either way, yeah, Eddie Kingston versus Minoru Suzuki was on YouTube. We didn't have to have any ads interrupting us. It was a long, brutal chopping match. After Eddie won and retained both his Ring of Honor World title and his never open weight strong title, whatever the fuck it's called. He and Minoru Suzuki did slap each other and then hug, and it was nice. And I thought that was cool as hell. All right, I need E and F. Let's get the E19s out here. But yeah, I thought that was dope as hell. And then it was Dynamite, and then we just had fucking lots of wrestling. It was commercial free for the first like 40 minutes or so of that. They got commercial free because WWE also got commercial free. How did AEW pay for that commercial free? Well, they aired plenty of commercials in the second hour, and also in the venue, which was easy to see on the show, you could see scrolling ads for Rick and Morty. So they just like put in TBS ad or Adult Swim TBS ads, in the venue during the show. So there was some of that, and then also because they had ads that were not. I don't understand why they don't let Eddie on the mic to hype up the show more often. They did it in the Well, here's the thing. Lashbrook, I don't want Eddie Kingston on the 0 hour. I want him on the main fucking show. And so you have to put him on 0 hour for him to hype up the pay-per-view they want people to buy. And they shouldn't be having Eddie Kingston on the fucking 0 hour. Eddie Kingston should be on the main card. So it kind of defeats the purpose of booking Eddie Kingston well if you're booking Eddie Kingston in a position where he's on the microphone telling you to buy the pay-per-view. Also, they've never done a buy-in for a weekly TV before, so this is new as well. But yeah, in the second hour, there was some fun stuff where they had Toni Storm do basically a silent film. She is currently timeless Toni Storm. That is her gimmick. Her gimmick is that she is kind of lost to time and going through things and acting like a starlet with mental illness. That is currently her deal. And so you end up with her doing basically a silent film, which all I can tell you, it is somebody in between takes of a real film desperately trying to win someone back or something. That appears to be the case. Then also during a picture-in-picture that wasn't a match, they had Don Callis drawing on paper and revealing other paper about various things and threats, which I thought was clever. So I thought that was kind of fun. I should also say that timeless Toni Storm recently has been throwing to commercial. She, in a match, will look dead at the camera and then say, "We'll be right back after these messages." And then they cut to commercial, and it's fucking brilliant. It's very good. So I think that rules. And then we had some matches. Some matches happened that were fun. Some promos happened that were whatever. Again, Eddie Kingston versus Minoru Suzuki whipped fucking ass. And it should have been on... Hey, guess what? That match should have been on fucking television. Because it whipped ass and was cool as hell. That should have been uninterrupted on fucking TV. And I know why it wasn't. Because the belief is that would get eyes on the product and you're giving that away for free. Well, you got to check out what's going on the TV and all that. But put fucking Eddie Kingston on television, goddammit. What are we fucking around for over here? We're just fucking around. It was just awesome. It was just a great match. Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland. I think this is the wrong call. All right, so it does continue. We've had a brief detour with Swerve Strickland and Bryan Danielson, and then maybe Gates of Agony now and BCC, and we're kind of bringing Hangman Adam Page in with BCC, which is weird but kind of cool. Swerve Strickland just beat Hangman Adam Page after losing a fuck ton to Sting and Darby Allin. After losing all this time to Sting and Darby Allin, he gets a win in on Hangman Adam Page, which is a big deal, even if Hangman's in a weird spot. Storyline-wise, it's still a big deal. It's still cool as hell that he's able to pull off that victory. But Bryan Danielson is undefeated. Bryan Danielson is like impossible to beat. This is the number one contender for a heels belt. Here's what I'm saying. Swerve Strickland had a great match. Don't get it twisted. Some storyline stuff is continuing. That'll be cool. Him continuing to work with Hangman, I think it's the right call. I don't think this was the right idea here. Swerve eating a loss to Bryan Danielson is to me a mistake. Also because Bryan Danielson shouldn't beat Christian Cage. Christian Cage is the TNT champion. Bryan should not beat him. Therefore, Bryan is going to lose to Christian instead of losing to Swerve Strickland or instead of losing to Ricky Starks. And I think that's bad. I think that's a bad call. Again, I don't know what they're doing fully. I'm not saying I know. Ooh, is this the wrong piece? Is this supposed to be? This is not B8. I think this is the wrong piece, or F8. So I need 6. All right. Yes, I pulled the wrong piece off, but we'll use that soon, so it's fine. I think it's a bad call. I think you put somebody else in this position. Was the match awesome? Yes, but I still think that Swerve needs to be built up because Swerve is a future world champion, and I think him eating losses to big cool names is big and cool, but it's still weird. It's still a weird thing to do. which I don't think they need to be doing. I don't think you need to be having Swerve out here losing to big names. All right, so this goes there. This goes, that's there. Where does this go? It's supposed to go on this side. No? Oh, it goes like that. Okay. All right. I'll buy that. All right. That goes there. And then this goes on here. All right. And then this goes on there. That felt very complicated. I think that looks neat. That looks like a good foot there, but that felt very complicated. All right, now we'll do the same thing on the other side, and hopefully that'll all work out. But yeah, I thought the match was awesome. I know some people aren't mad about that, but whatever. Powerhouse Hobbs versus Chris Jericho. So this wasn't a squash match because Jericho kept getting the comeback here and there. But I mean, maybe that would have been more shocking. This one was weird because, like, I guess you don't need to see. You're trying to explain Jericho being off because Jericho's going to be off for a little while. He has Fozzy has some dates coming up. He has a match in Japan in November. So he's taking a little time off to do some dates and then eventually do a cool match at DDT Wrestling, which is awesome. That's fucking cool. Cool for DDT. But it is weird. It's a weird thing, in my opinion, to have this match go the way it did. I thought that was strange. But I do think that it worked out. It did what it was supposed to do, which is making Hobbs look like $1 million, which AEW has been very fucking bad at doing. Let me just be clear. Powerhouse Hobbs not having a stupid book called the Book of Hobbs, which they kept like getting away from and going back to. That's awesome. Powerhouse Hobbs looking like he could destroy a former world champion in AEW. That's awesome. It was weird that Jericho kept violently kicking out. This match was probably longer than it needed to be, but it served its purpose of making Hobbs look like a goddamn threat. And you're looking at him, you're going, wait, why is anyone else in Don Callis' family like getting opportunities? It should be Hobbs. Hobbs is your fucking killer. What are we doing here? Like, that's your main eventer right there, which is great because Powerhouse Hobbs has gotten lost in the mid card and it's been bad. Hey, we got rated by our artistic biologist, rating with a party of two. Welcome. Hello. Hi, hello there. I'm Pat Baer. I'm a model kit builder, a Lego builder as well. And we're currently working on the Freedom Gundam. We just started not too long ago. And the Freedom Gundam, real grade, you start with the feet, which is an odd thing to not start with the chest or the head. Instead starting from the bottom up, but that's what we're doing. Hi, you've been looking everywhere for a Gundam Schwarzette. Oh, nice. Yes, we finished up the Gundam Schwarzette, which I can put right there for you. We wrapped that up tonight. I picked this kit up on Amazon.com because I do not have a local hobby shop that sells Gunpla, unfortunately. So I get a lot of my stuff from Amazon. But it turned out great. There were optional stickers. We went with the vibrant like neon stickers, but they do have just pure black as well if you want a more subdued version. You're waiting for it to show up on new type. Oh, okay, yeah, well, good. Yeah, keep your eyes peeled. I hope it shows up for you soon. But this was a pleasure to build. I've loved the Witcher Mercury kits. Always really enjoyed working on them, since the show debuted. It has been really fun to work on because they're just so vibrant and like I love having a no polycap kit. We're working on that now, right? I'm working on this real grade no polycaps. Obviously, the skeletal structure is going to be in there. The B sheet here, we've got the skeleton pieces as well, but slightly different, a slightly different way to go about it. But yeah, I've enjoyed that quite a bit. And we're talking a little wrestling tonight. We're just talking a little bit about some stuff that happened there. But yeah, happy for Powerhouse Hobbs looking like a real champion. Orange Cassidy is the new the international champion. I always say intercontinental. I'm wrong. The intercontinental. Sorry, yeah, I said it wrong again. AEW International Champion is once again Orange Cassidy. Now, behind the scenes talk, if you believe the dirt sheets, Ray Fenix is having issues renewing his visa. He has been trying to get a green card, and that has been proving difficult for him. So apparently, word is that he's going to have to go back to Mexico for a while his regular old work visa work happens. And so they wanted to take the international title off of him because he's not going to be on TV for a bit. Now, they could have had him wrestle places in Mexico while he's there. But instead, they decided they were going to put on Orange Cassidy. Jon Moxley wasn't really supposed to lose it to Fenix, but he also was not cleared to compete. It's a whole thing. I kind of wish it had been somebody else because I feel like this is a weird step down for Orange Cassidy to suddenly be the champion again after losing it. But the match was good, and he's getting a little more aggressive, which is fun. Also, we are not dealing with the banged and bruised Orange Cassidy. He is finally healed up. Basically, as soon as he lost the belt, he suddenly wasn't hurt anymore, even though he didn't take time off, which is fun. It also means that you get a weird shot of, like, Hook, Taz's son, Hook, hanging out with his new tag partner, Orange Cassidy, and the Best Friends. And that is just a weird combination of people that I like seeing. I think that is a fun combination. But yeah, it's weird. Obviously, Orange Cassidy was a great champion. He had worked so hard with that belt to elevate it into something. But I kind of want to, I would like to see that treatment given to another wrestler in the company, maybe. So I'm of mixed minds. People are speculating that Orange Cassidy is going to turn heel. Yes, Danhausen is making his way back at some point. I don't necessarily think that they're going to turn Orange Cassidy heel. If you're like, that character won't work as a heel, you're wrong. It worked great as a heel in the indie scene because the laziness, right? The laziness becomes, oh, I could wrestle, I just don't want to. Instead of, I'm tired or whatever. It's, you don't deserve me at my best. You deserve this much of Orange Cassidy. Also, that would probably mean that most of the Best Friends would turn heel. I don't think they would do it with Chris Statlander, although it could be interesting if they did with Chris. But I think they would majority just do it with the Best Friends. And I want that because Trent already kind of works heel anyway. He already kind of wrestles as a heel. And Chuck Taylor, heel Chuck Taylor, fucking rules. The Kentucky Gentleman is such a great mid-card heel. Such a good cheater. The Gentleman's Club with him and Drew Gulak. And the Swamp Monster, which is just a wrestler an unnamed wrestler in a ghillie suit, was fantastic. Chuck Taylor is such a good heel. I would love to see them with a heel run. And also, the idea of, like, bad boys who love each other, because they still be the best friends. They still really care about each other and still want each other to succeed. They just also want to hurt other people. I think that is a fun premise to explore. I can see that being pretty great. I don't know. And I think Orange Cassidy would just have to stop using Jane. I think you just don't have OC use Jane because it's cool. It's too cool. And they would just come out to the Best Friends music, which is not that good and pretty generic. So you could just do that. I don't know. I think that would be neat. I don't think we're going to get that, but that would be neat. Wardlow beat the shit out of Matt Sydal Sorry, Batside L. You're Evan Bourne. You're never going to be much in AEW. You'll probably just be a good hand, uh, you know, and someone that will sell like crazy for a monster like Wardlow. I love this. I love this aggressive Wardlow. He hasn't talked on the microphone yet. They will ruin this by having him talk on the microphone, and that's fine. He shouldn't for as long as possible. Please, let's just have Wardlow beating the shit out of people and power bombing them over and over again, and then leaving through the crowd for whatever reason because he doesn't want to walk up the ramp. I'm into it. I like it. This this isn't fixing Wardlow, but this is at least going back to the well with Wardlow in a way that I can get behind. Because he's a monster, and he just couldn't talk the way they wanted him to talk. So have him do this. I think that's cool as hell. I think that could be something. Hangman Adam Page and Jay White had a fucking banger. Do I like Jay White and MJF's feud? No, I hate it. I hate what's happening right now. We got Samoa Joe saying he wants the belt too. We got Jay White getting beat up. We don't know why. That could turn out to be something fun. We got fucking Juice Robinson bringing up real life trauma from MJF, which MJF said okay about, but someone else should have gone, hey, you know what we don't need to do? A storyline where we explore Jewish stereotypes and now. We don't need to do that. Now, is that a true thing that happened in your life? Sure. But do the guys who stole your belt and could beat you up that are scummy, do they need to also be anti-Semitic? No. Juice Robinson does not need to be anti-Semitic for this storyline to work. Apparently, it is important to explore this for MJF, but someone above MJF should have been like, no, we're not doing it. We're not doing that right now. Like, we're just not going to do it, and it's weird that they did, and I am afraid that they will not back down on it. But they should, because fucking yikes. That's my big takeaway. Yikes. Hikaru Shida is the new AEW Women's World Champion. That whips ass. Congratulations to Shida. Big fan of Shida. Have been Hikaru Shida for many years. Happy to see Hikaru Shida with the belt. It is weird that Hikaru Shida has been champion on TV. That Saraya, just on TV, she wins on TV. That Saraya won it all in and then didn't really do much with it at all since then. It is strange. It is an odd choice. I do not understand what they are doing in the women's division. I am grateful that there are stories that happen in the women's division outside of outside of the belts. There are occasionally storylines. Toni Storm right now exists outside of a belt and is great. We did see Toni Storm lose trying to win the belt from Saraya. It is weird to see that. Also, Thunder Rosa is going to be back at any day, and I don't know what show she's going to be on. I don't know what belt she's going to go after. That seems weird. Maybe they're going to bring back Julia Hart after her vacation. She's got honeymoon. Maybe she's going to come back and challenge for the world belt against Shida. I have no fucking clue what's going on there. It's just weird. Last week I didn't even get the quarters, but until people started talking about it, I thought he was going to punch Max with brass knucks style and break all his fingers. No. Hey, so I will say this. It is a classic. Classics are not always a good thing. It is a classic thing that stereotype that Jews are money hungry. That they will swallow their pride, that if you throw coins at them, they will stop to pick up those coins. And in Max Friedman, in his real life, Feisman. I think it's, I can't remember. Max's real last name is not Friedman. In Max's real life, he has spoken about incidents where people threw quarters at him and then called him slurs. And so he is bringing that real life storyline, the story element into a feud that does not need real life to be in it. Jay White stole his belt. That's all it is. Jay White stole a belt. There are two things that MJF cares about. His buddy Adam Cole, his brochacho, and the belt that he had custom made when he won the world title. Those are the only two things he cares about. You don't also have to make him a Jewish American hero. You just don't have to do it. You could do that. You could do that. You know, you could. But you don't have to. It's weird. It's a weird thing to be like, also, here's this fucking anti-Semitic angle on top of all the other stuff. Yeah, the team. Hey, we know you just rolled down to the ring on a weird trike, but also be an anti-Semite, Juice Robinson. It's like, what the fuck are we talking about? I don't want to talk about that anymore. I'm done talking about that. I'm done with the feet. We're gonna move on to the legs. Is there anything else from wrestling I want to talk about before we take our pause for the cause? Adam Copeland versus Luchasaurus was cool as hell. Adam Copeland can still fucking wrestle. I already knew that, but he can still fucking wrestle. We have not actually seen Luchasaurus be that strong or tough in a while, so that was kind of fun. Christian Cage did one of my favorite nonsense things, which is in wrestling, is he had a steel chair that he set up and set down and sat in. And it's weird. Wrestlers hit people with chairs. They don't sit in chairs, in folding chairs. So it's weird to see him sit in a chair. And it's just funny to me. I was just like, oh, weird. He's sitting down. And then a bunch of other people interfered, and sure. And also there was a weird reference to how in somewhere else, you tried to make a group and they abandoned you. And it's like, don't fucking bring up WWE storylines that had nothing to do with you. The Judgment Day is better off without him. He, whatever. And he realized that. They moved plans ahead. Got him out of there. And it was probably the right call. I don't know. But otherwise, it was cool. It was a good night of wrestling with a few bumps along the way. But overall, pretty solid. Oh, and maybe the Acclaimed are going to tag. The Acclaimed might help out MJF, which will then mean that Billy Gunn will wrestle against his sons to help out MJF. And most of the Acclaimed are not interested in helping out with that. Because they're like, I don't know about this guy. I don't really want to help him, but it seems like they are going to help him. All right, so I have to see how this works. You don't have to do this, and this goes like that. I can see that. Then there's piece has to go on, and then this has to fold down over it. That folds down over that. When that goes in, okay, we'll figure this all out. These are always weird to try to figure out, but we'll make it work. But we're going to take a pause for the cause. I'm going to talk about ways you, that's right, you, the viewing audience, can support what I do here and my whole shenanigans, if you're interested. Everything I'm going to tell you right now is optional. You don't have to do any of this stuff. But if you'd like to, it'd be cool. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build With Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through cash money or through your Prime gaming token. So if you have Amazon Prime, you'll link that with your Twitch. You get that token. You can use that for somebody. Use it for me. Your friend Pat would like you to do that. If you wanted to, you could do that. So that's one way to support what I do here, is like that. You could gift a sub. We have had 0 gifted subs this month. And I understand that. A lot of you gifted subs at the end of September. At the end of last month, when there were only a couple days, you got the discount for gifting subs. A ton of you gifted subs, and it fucking ruled. So that's okay that no one's gifted sub this month. That's totally all right. Also, bits and coins always appreciated. You can join Harold on the Bit Sub leaderboard if you were so inclined. And again, you don't have to do that. That's okay. But if you'd like to, it would be rad. There are other ways to support me, and I'm going to mention those now. You could go to my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear and join my Patreon at the $1, $3, $5, or $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Like my $10 patrons voted on the Freedom Gundam that I'm going to be building now. They said, yeah, build the Freedom Gundam next. Or the $3, $5, and $10 all got to vote on what I played on Tuesday, which was Model Builder. We checked out the video game Model Builder, so they got to pick that. And in my $5 and $10, get videos early. It's a whole thing. And the $1 tier gets a cool thing where they get a Q&A that only exists on my Patreon. So everybody gets a little bit of business. I also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. You can go over to my YouTube if you are so interested and subscribe for free, of course, or become a member. You can become a member over there. $2 a month. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. And the Wednesday video that I put up this week, I think is real good. So it'll be worth it. There are other things you can do before we get to building. Those are monthly ways to support me. There's also a one-time donation. Maybe just once in a while, you want to throw $1 to your friend Pat's way. Well, you could do that through Coffee or PayPal or Stream Elements, like a one-time. And everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And with that fund, I buy model kits. The Freedom Gundam that I am currently working on, I was able to purchase because of your generosity, and I appreciate that very much. And the kit I built before that, the Schwarzette, which I just finished on stream, I bought that with funds that come from you on a monthly basis, which is very kind. If you want to jump the queue, if you don't want to be one of the things I have in my backlog and stuff that's coming soon to my backlog, if you want to jump the queue on that and become decide what I build next after the Freedom Gundam, the easiest way to do that is to buy something off my Amazon wish list. I will make a dedicated YouTube video about the thing that you've purchased, and you jump the queue. I've got inexpensive Lego sets. I've got some inexpensive kits, some expensive model kits. I have a few knockoff Lego sets that I will be happy to build. I've got, like I said, some model kits that have dropped in price, which is nice to see. A couple things from Witcher Mercury, a Iron Blooded Orphans kit that I've never built, the last one of the high grades that I haven't built yet. Some more expensive kits, of course. And did I recently add something? I recently added something. What did I recently add? Oh, I recently added a new Lego set. The Speed Champions. I have McLaren Solus GT and the McLaren F1 LM. And both those cars look rad as fuck. And I recently added that to the wish list because that looks cool as hell. And yeah, a bunch of different stuff. Expensive kits that I don't think you should buy, but they're there if you want to buy something expensive. And then some gear at the bottom because it is nice to have some gear as an option. Yeah, so that's my Amazon wish list. See if there's something there you'd like to see me build. You could buy it. And again, you get a dedicated video about that on my YouTube. To go along with that, I have an alternative to Amazon, which is my Throne wish list. Throne is a solid company doing wish lists and protecting the people that put those wish lists up. And they seem like good folks, so I got that. And then also, the most convoluted way to support me is to go to USA Gundam Store, buy a gift card. They send you a gift card in your email, then send me a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open, or a whisper on Twitch with the gift card code. That is the most annoying way to support me, but if you want to do that, you can, because it's really convoluted. But you do that if you want to do that. Anything else? Anything else that I need to say to you? If you want to support me for free and you haven't already, I have a Discord. Just hang out in my Discord if you want to do that. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff. People post stuff they're working on. It is a cool place for cool people. So why isn't the Discord thing popping up? That's weird. I'll give it a second. Hopefully it'll pop up soon. But yeah, I got a Discord, and you're welcome to go hang out there. Let me try again. Why are you not? There we go. There's the Discord thing. Okay, there's a link. A couple of video links for you to check out before we get back to building. I recently uploaded a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club. Put that up on Monday for Pat Bear's Anime Club. If you haven't already, you want to check that out. It is me talking about all 8 isekai that are out this season. There are 9 anime. There are 9 isekai this season. I didn't know about a show. Let me check the walkthrough first. I am going to be covering the first episode of that this weekend. Let me check the walkthrough first. Did not show up on any of the sources I used to look for anime information. It seemingly came out of nowhere. It is a Chinese cartoon that they have done a Japanese version of. And so maybe that's why people didn't know about it. But it is an isekai. And I'm going to check that out. So look for that this weekend. But if you want to hear about the other 8 isekai that I did talk about in a video, you can watch that video. I can't believe it. I fucked up like that. Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series where every week I write and perform a piece of comedy that I have rehearsed. It is barely rehearsed, but it is rehearsed. This one's one of my favorites. I say that a lot, and it's always true. This character piece, we got to 41. The rhythm is there. I am doing a character who is in weird circumstances and seems to be annoyed by those weird circumstances. This is about a private investigator who is unhappy that he keeps solving paranormal investigations because he just wants to be a regular private eye and not deal with spooky stuff. I think it's real good. Please check it out. I think it's one of my best ones. So I would love you to check out that episode. What else do we need to talk about? Okay, now I'm going to talk about some anime. I'm going to drink some water first. We're going to get back to building, and then I'll talk about the 2 anime shows that I watched this week, and we will dramatically transition back to the overhead right now. Okay. I have 2 shows to talk to you about. I did not find this out until right before the stream started, so I was not able to watch the episode, but I have been told that episode 2 of the Yuzuki family's 4 sons has better subtitles. It is rumored that the deal they had with the company that they licensed the series from, the Crunchyroll license from, did their own translations that were bad. Supposedly, episode 2 has good translations, and they are not as terrible as the previous ones, which it would be very difficult to be worse, but I have heard good things. I will be probably checking that later because people have said really nice things about that series, and now that the subtitles are not machine translated, probably most likely with very little oversight. Oops, I dropped a piece here. Hold on, I need you to pick up that piece. I'll be right back in a second. After the last time that I dropped a piece and I had to reach and get it, I fucked up my shoulder. It like pretty bad because I'm in my 40s now and can't keep doing that shit. So I dropped it and I couldn't easily reach it. So I just turned the camera off so that I could get out of my chair and grab it. Because that's the new normal. I'm not going to reach for stuff anymore if it's out of my way. Because otherwise I'm not going to Riker myself because I already did that. Folks that were there remember that I did that and then was in so much pain that I just stopped. I just called the stream. I was like, hey, I don't want to stream anymore. I'm hurting. And then I just put ice on it and stretched out. And like it was fine by like the middle of the next day. But I was in quite a bit of pain and not in the mood to work on a model kit because I was feeling terrible and mad at myself. I was also mad at myself. So now I don't do that. Anyway, I will check out these Yuzuki's family 4 sons because I have heard again better subtitles, so that's nice. But I can tell you about Helck, and my daughter left the next. I wrote the wrong word there. That's nest. She left the nest and returned an S rank adventurer. I wrote the wrong word there, but you know should know what that is. So my apologies. I did 2 weeks ago. I watched the first episode of this, and then didn't watch the second episode until now. Last week because I was trying other shows, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to pick this one up, but I liked the first episode quite a bit, so I am now picking this one up. And I'll kind of go over like what happened in the first episode as we go there. Helck. Oh God. So if you don't remember Helck, this is a series that started off as, hey, this guy, this human, wants to become the new demon lord. He wants to become the new head of demons. Okay, so where is this supposed to go? Sorry, everybody. This goes like this, but why doesn't this want to lock into place? Go the other way? So Helck wanted to become the new Lord of the Demons, even though he's a human. He was a human hero because apparently he's wanted for murdering his brother, and some other shit went down, and he wants to get his revenge on humanity. And it's like, okay, well, I guess we'll learn more about that soon. Okay, so... Nope, I have no idea. Very frustrating. This is the piece that fell, too. So let me make sure. Is that C1? That is C1. It's right there. That's C1. Okay. So this piece goes like this. That's right. C1 is this. There's a piece that sticks out from C1. And that's supposed to go into that, and then that flips down. Okay. That seems weird, but sure, I'll go with it. And you start stretching for streams. Well, Lord Crescent, yeah, I mean, that's fair. But also, I need to have a body that's way more limber. But also, more importantly, I need to not worry about getting things if I drop them, and, you know, putting the pre-show screen up, getting up, get those things, go back. Anyway, so last episode, episode 13 of the show, we had flashbacks. We have more flashbacks. We're learning more about Helck and his brother. We find out that Helck was not the hero. His brother unlocked his ability to be a hero. Helck was a odd jobs guy because he didn't like fighting. He didn't like violence. That wasn't his thing. So he was mostly just there to support his brother and the people that raised him and helped him out. Let's see. Kless embarked on a dangerous mission. This was his brother. Brother embarked on a dangerous mission. And Helck kind of like had to stick around in his place because more monsters kept showing up. All these monsters kept showing up. And Helck was like, all right, well, I guess I'm conscripted to go help out, and so we're going to go do it. So he and Edel go, and that's where Vermilio is like, oh, that's probably where you got your hero powers. Your hero powers probably unlocked while you were doing that, while you were out being, trying to, you know, fight. That's probably when you unlocked your abilities. Okay, I think I got this done right. Move on to the next part of this here, which is, oh, okay, more of C, and then E120. So they do that. They're fighting some stuff. They're fighting. They need more help. They go to Edel's homeland, and it's inflamed, and they're worried no one's going to be there. They run into the head of a mercenary group named Alicia, and they defeat some monsters, and Alicia's mad because she's just like, Helck just seems stronger than me, and that's weird because he shouldn't be. So she's mad about that, but then comes to accept him, and then invites Helck and Edel to join the mercenary group because they're going to keep going out there and defeating monsters. And this is kind of where this is Helck's like hero's journey. This is Helck going out, defeating monsters, helping people, feeling, somewhat accomplished by doing those tasks. The big journey. All of this fell apart. All of these pieces just came off. This is frustrating. All right, so if I look here, there's these 2 pegs there. This is supposed to go into that. So let's get that like that. Okay. And then we do the same on the other side. And this should theoretically stay in place. Please stay in place. Please stay in place. Okay. And then this came out, and I don't know why. This lives like that, and then comes down, and then falls off. Which is weird. Hey, guess what? The feet were really easy. I'm starting to find out, I think I'm starting to find the spots on this kit that people told me were going to be really frustrating and that I would have less fun with. So I'm starting to think that I have found those things. So that's cool. All right, C8 and C7 is here. Hold on. This I can reach. I'm not stretching too much to reach this thing. Did drop one thing. Able to get that. Got this. Great. Anyway, they're all working, and for 4 years, they're just defeating more and more monsters. Like, literally 4 years. Kless is still out there doing his thing. And the kingdom's like, okay, well, we got to defeat the Demon King. Because obviously these monsters are the work of the Demon King. So we got to defeat the Demon King. And once we defeat the Demon King, our problems are over. Except Vermilio's like, the monsters, we had monsters too. That's not the Demon King. Of course, they don't know that at the time. So Kless gets sent out to defeat the Demon King, whose name is Toru. And Helck's not mad about that, because even though Kless does win, he comes back really banged up and really hurt. And then they meet a doctor named Mikaros, who just looks, hey, this guy looks evil. Just going to say it right there. I do know that some evil shit happened at some point because of the situation we're currently in with the story, but it definitely seems like this guy sucks. This guy seems like he really sucks and is going to be a problem. Just really seems like it. And he's like, hey, just so you know, I'm going to do whatever I can to save your brother, to make all of this work out well. I got you. I'm gonna work on it. And defeating Demon King did not solve any problems, which we knew was going to be the case, but they didn't know at the time, because there are more monsters still, lots more monsters, and people start, because the Demon King killing the Demon King didn't fix anything. For whatever reason, the people are like, Kless fucked up. This guy sucks. And it's like, that's weird. And so that Helck is mad about that. And then Helck gets it in his head. And again, I don't know why. But Helck gets it in his head. Well, maybe, most likely, the Demon King has done something to resurrect himself. And so the Demon King's still out there. And Helck is like, I'm going to defeat the Demon King myself. Which seems foolish. And then I guess the next episode is also going to be a flashback. And all I can think about while I'm watching this episode is, this is probably 3 chapters of the manga, right? 2 to 3 chapters of a manga is 1 episode of an anime, generally. So that means that this manga has already, the manga version of Helck is already dedicated like 6 chapters just to a flashback. And there are more coming. If I read this on a monthly basis, I probably would have given up this show. I probably would have been like, you know what? I don't care enough. I like this series, but I don't like it enough to still watch it. What am I doing here? Why am I watching this? Like so much of this where nothing really happens, and like all of that backstory. There's an anime, I should say, coming out next season. There's an isekai that I'll probably cover that is like adventure-y and like dark in some places and light in others and kind of cool and kind of fun. And then the manga takes a turn where it tries to explain why the main character is so basically a bunch of people get isekai'd, and it's clear that one guy got shitty isekai powers, like a classroom got, isekai, and he got abandoned because everyone was like, well, he doesn't have any powers, he didn't get anything good. But he already had powers, and he was like hiding those powers that he had on Earth. And then the manga decided the best thing to do is to spend like 7, 8, 9 issues explaining how, like, his backstory and how he got those powers. And so like almost a full year of this anime or this manga is just explaining the tragic story of this kid and his overpowered abilities. And then it like goes back into the manga and it's like, what? But like I said, 12 episodes, it probably won't get there. Okay. Can I get this to work? I'm having so many fucking problems with this. I can't. It's one of those things where I'm like, I can't tell if I'm just doing it wrong or if it's just not good. You know what I mean? Like, am I fucking up or is this shitty? And it could be both. You know what, folks? This could be a both. This could be one where I'm like, oh, I'm very bad. I'm like assembling this incorrectly. And also it's not easy to do and agreeable. Like, that's also a possibility. But these don't want to stay on. And then I'm trying to layer things on top of it. All right. That looks right. We'll see if it is. That looks right, at least. And then below that, I need to put this piece, and then lock that into that, and then lock that around there. So this needs to go like here. Okay, that seems right. Then this slides in here. Oh, and I don't want this to fall off, because this, for whatever reason, doesn't stay on well. I still have another anime to talk about, but I want to get this part of the leg done because it looks easier after this. Once I get this done, it does seem to be easier. So I would like to try to get this done, and then we'll move on. Okay. And then this part needs to line up with that. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, hopefully, none of this falls off, and I can layer up on there. Let me just get back in. All right. I think I got through the most annoying part of this. And then if this little thing pops out here, I can always blue tack it or liquid cement there. If that starts getting annoying, hopefully it won't be annoying. Let's continue. Working on this, and then this looks like that. So then we're going to put on, this has to go up. So we can slide in a piece under here, slide in that front, and then slide that in there. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me talk to you again about episode 2 of My Daughter Left the Nest and Returned an S-Rank Adventure, which I wrote next, but I meant Nest. So, the first episode, our dude, Belgrieve. Belgrieve was a kick-ass, fucking dope as hell, always great adventurer. He was on his way to being a legendary adventurer and doing cool-ass things. And then, unfortunately for him, he did have an accident, and he did need to retire. He lost a leg. He had to stop adventuring. Had to give it up. On his way back to the village where he was raised, where he was going to retire and just do other stuff, he did find a baby. Just found an abandoned baby. And he was like, well, the best course of action for me is to raise this baby as my daughter. And he does that, and she grows up, and she is named Angeline. We've got Belgrieve and Angeline. And Angeline eventually turns of age, and she's like, Dad, I'm going to go and become an adventurer. And she does, and she becomes an S-rank adventurer, which is awesome. And all she wants is a vacation where she can go and see her dad and hang out. But here's the thing. There are only so many S-rank adventurers. So unlike other adventurers who can kind of do whatever the fuck they want, an S-rank adventurer is consistently being told to do stuff and given missions all the time. And she just can't go and be spoiled by her dad and take her. She also like wants her adventuring party to go with her because she's been talking up her dad and how great her dad is. And she's like, you should all come and hang out. And they don't get to do that because the end of the first episode, they run into Sasha Bordeaux, who is the daughter of a count. He is on his deathbed, and they're racing against the clock to go so that she can go and see him. So that and Sasha does. Sasha goes and sees her father before he passes. Or sorry, that was Saren. Saren was the girl that wanted to go see her dad. There's Saren and Sasha and one other one. Helvetica. Saren, Sasha, Helvetica. So Saren shows up and she's just like, or Sasha shows up and she's like, hey, your daughter helped out my sister so that she could go see her dad. That's great. Thank you so much for that. And also, hey, your daughter refused a reward that I offered her. So that's why I came to see you. I came to see you because she wouldn't accept this reward. So now you have to take it. And she's like, I mean, oh, okay, fine. And she's like, hey, I'm a double A. I'm not an S rank like your daughter, but I'm a double A rank. Let's you and I duel. She demands they duel, and he beats her very quickly. And she's just like, whoa, all right. You're awesome. I'm going to be back. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to learn more from you in the future. And he's just like, okay, I guess. So she leaves. That their fight is, again, very quick. It is a very short duel. All right, so I need to get this piece on that doesn't like anything. It doesn't like to stay where it needs to be. I need to get this piece on, push it back, get this piece on here where it needs, wherever it needs to go, wherever this piece needs to go. We'll just test it out. This needs to go here, basically. I don't know where this goes. Let me figure out where this goes first. This goes here. So this needs to go here. And then this piece is going to go on here, and they'll lock in place, and it'll look fine. But this piece can't go on until I get this piece on. So I'm trying to get that piece on. Sasha Bordeaux is my favorite NXT wrestler. Yes. Sasha Bordeaux, Saren Bordeaux, and Helvetica Bordeaux are all very good names. They're all excellent names. All right, so I'm going to try to keep this piece from pushing back too far while I put the other piece on. I'm trying to wedge this together. I can also just say fuck it and not deal with this piece, or I can try to liquid cement it as well. As I said, I have that option as well. That did not work that time. All right. What if I stick this in here so it can't fall back? Can I then get this going? So there's a bunch of monsters, and so Angeline tries to get another vacation. She gets denied her request for vacation. She just wants to go and hang out with her dad and tell her all the cool stuff that she's done and hang out with him. Because she really only got this far in the ranking to impress her dad in the first place. But, you know, she's got to help out and do a bunch of stuff, so she's doing that. Because there is a rumor that the 72 Demon Kings are coming back. That's right, there are 72 Demon Kings, and they might be back, which are homunculi that some sorcerer made. So they're like, ah, fuck. We got to figure that shit out. And then Belgrieve, in the meantime, is finally the third sister, the new count, Helvetica. The oldest sister is a countess, and she is like, hey, you beat my sister easily. You should come work for me as a warrior. And if you say no, well, I will just convince you later after I kidnap you. And so he's just like, well, no. And then his soldiers are like, okay, well, we have to make you. And he just, in a fairly cool move, just immediately intimidates them all into submission. They immediately like crumble under the sheer force of like, oh, this guy's no joke and we cannot beat him. So then Helvetica's like, wow, all right, well, if I can't kidnap you, then you should just marry me, which is a weird choice. All right, executive Pat Baer decision. This piece, which is like the rockets on the back of the kit, which no one will see except me. I'm not doing it. I don't know why this piece doesn't want to stay on there. I don't care. Executive Pat Baer decision. It's my kit. It can be a little incomplete. That's fine. Right now, there's this piece here, and on the back of it, there should be this piece. I'm not doing it. I might do it myself later if I'm interested in that. I am not currently interested in doing that, and so I will not do it. Executive decisions happen now and again, folks. Again, this is a tiny little piece on the back of a kit that will not show up when I'm showing it to you. And I'm fine with that. I save the piece. I can do it on my own time. I can get my tweezers out and liquid cement and try to cement it in there. I'm not going to worry about it. It's just a little piece for rockets on the back of this thing. It's okay that I don't have it. All right, so apparently Helvetica this is like part of her childish side in like, well, marry me, getting what she wants. So, Seren is also there. Apparently, the middle daughter, or the youngest daughter, is the most reasonable of the daughters, or the sisters, I should say. And she's just like, yeah, I got this. Don't worry about it. But they're like, well, we have a harvest festival. Why don't all three of you just come out and hang out at the harvest festival? You're more than welcome to hang out. And so they all agree to do that. Meanwhile, apparently, the outbreak of monsters is so much that the guild is considering asking retired adventurers to resume working because there are just so many fucking monsters and not enough adventurers. So maybe they can ask retirement. And Angeline, who still has not gone and seen her dad, is like, cool. Maybe I could start working with my dad. That's always something that I wanted to do. I just want to go on adventures. And then, because this fun time of the story of a bunch of cool shit happening, and monsters and sword fights and all kinds of things, it couldn't just be easy. Because we said that the demon lords might be reviving, because we see that somewhere in a cave, a strange being is manifesting. And it's looking for its lost master. What could this mean? Is there any possibility that this will be a cute girl like every other character in the show that is not the main character of Belgrieve? Who can say? Look, is My Daughter Left the Nest and Returned an Esoteric Adventurer the show of the season? No. All of my favorite shows this season so far have been returning shows. Like, I don't know if the first episode of I Shall Survive Using Potions I thought was really fun. So that could, it's only been one episode, so that could end up being my favorite of the season. And Stardust Telepath has some ideas that I'm interested in. So that could end up being something strong, but I'm not convinced yet that either of those are like the show of the season. But My Daughter Left the Nest and Returned to SREC Adventure is fun, and I am looking for some fun anime. So if you're looking for some fun anime, I think you could do a whole lot worse than that, which is not much of a recommendation, but that's where I'm at here, where I'm like, I don't know, it's pretty fucking fun. The characters are animated well, and I like this dude, this hardworking dude that isn't asking a lot. He's strong, but only got the one leg now, so he's limited in what he can do, but can still whip ass. And he would have been an SREC adventurer in his own right, if not for circumstances. So it's like, yeah, I think it's neat. I think it is a neat series. Now I want to hear from you, friends. We've got a little time left on the stream, so I want to hear, hey, what are you watching right now? You playing any video games? You doing anything? You got anything going on? You playing anything? You go to the movies? You watching anything on TV? You watching any anime this season? What are you liking? Let me know. I always want to hear from you, friends, about what you're into, what you're excited about. I will say, I played more of Pizza Possum. Since I streamed it last week, I have now completed a third run in Pizza Possum, like gotten all the way through. Pizza Possum is really fun. That is an inexpensive game. If you like run-based stuff, if you like some sneaking, if you like a fun art style, I think it is a very fun time that I recommend. I played a little bit more of Model Builder yesterday. I finished off the knockoff Gundams that are in there. Or there's the knockoff Gundam in there. I don't think I would have ever paid for Model Builder, but I got it for free on Epic, and I was happy to get that game for free. We might do another stream of that game in the future because I did enjoy it. I don't think we're ever going to stream Pizza Possum again, but I could see myself doing another round of Model Builder, like picking up, because I did a lot of the step-by-step nature of the tutorial, and I did a little bit of playing around in the creative mode, where you just have access to everything. And so I wouldn't mind jumping back in and doing a little bit more of the story, because I thought that was pretty fucking strong. So I would like to get back into that at some point. I'm going to read what y'all said in just a second. Oh, also, I got a couple more mods for Persona 4 Golden. The Persona 4 Golden with mod stream will be Halloween. I want to say this now. My Halloween plans are on the 30th, which is a Monday. I will be working on a knockoff Lego set that is Halloween themed. That looks very cute. It is a knockoff set. I forget the company. It is not Mold King. It is not Ufoy. It is another knockoff kit that starts with an S. I can't remember the name of it. But I will be taking a look at that, and I think that'll be fun. And then on Halloween itself, Tuesday, Halloween night, the 31st, we will be playing Persona 4 Persona 4 Golden with mods. And I will be all of the people will be in Halloween costumes when we enter a dungeon. We will be entering the spookiest dungeon of all, which of course is Naoto's dungeon, because nothing is scarier than gender confusion. Nothing is more terrifying than being unsure of what's going on with you on the inside. And societal pressures of your place in the universe. So we will be rescuing Naoto and then maybe doing some other stuff, but focusing on that and showing off a couple more mods that I got since the last time we streamed it. So that's coming up. That's the end of the month. That'll be fun. But I want to give my Halloween plans now so that we can also dive back in. I just want to promote that. No pumpkin carving. Last year went awry, and so I have decided that I am going to take a break. I might pumpkin carve in the future, but I will not be pumpkin carving this year. And that, just knowing I won't do it, is huge for me and my mental health. Very freeing. Okay, what you've been saying since I started talking here. Lord Crasher says, been playing some Honkai Star Rail on PS5, which is pretty fun so far for free-to-play turn-based JRPG by Genshin Impact people. Very anime. Yes, I have heard that is a very anime-ass free-to-play turn-based game. Cool. I'm glad you're enjoying your time with it. Ghostfowl has been laid up after the double vaccine for COVID and flu. I've heard that that's a killer. Well, not a killer, but I've heard that's rough. I should say it's not a killer. But good on you for getting both. I got my flu shot, but I have not gotten my COVID booster yet. But I will be getting that soon. So mainly just easy stuff like DRG, Survivor, Demo, still binging Magnus Archives, some BG3. Nice. Goes Valve. Well, I hope you recover soon. Yeah, I'm glad you're at least able to play some games while you're under the weather. Last one, since I'm canceling Hulu, I'm finally watching the new Bleach. #1 still rules, and they deploy it well here. Also, I still like a ton of stuff in Bleach a lot. Yeah, hey, here's the thing about this new Bleach adaptation. They know where they know where the manga fucked up. It's a good telling of this story that got very convoluted, and it flows very well. I really enjoy it. I'm behind on it, but what I have watched, I really enjoyed. And yes, Ichigo's theme, #1, still whips ass. It is still a cool song with fun lyrics, nonsense-ish lyrics, and fucking wailing guitar as a dude shows up and whips ass. And it's just like, it's so basic. You just have a cool song play when someone comes to do good shit. It's just like, like the Dragon Ball Ultra Instinct theme, where you're just like, oh yeah, shit's about to fucking go off. Hell yeah. Ironhide the Fourth, we are talking about the anime Bleach, the 1,000-Year War adaptation that is currently on Hulu. We are chatting about that because Lashbrook is enjoying it. Nathan Explosion says, finishing up Starfield and read all of Dan, which is very way better sorcery fighting manga than Jujutsu Kaisen. Nathan Explosion. Here's the thing about Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen wants to hurt you emotionally. And it succeeds in doing that. And it's very good at doing that. Also, it's like, what if we got like the goodest good boy that also can kick ass? What if we got just like a really kick-ass nice boy as our main character? There are plenty of nice boys in modern shonen, but what if we got like a really nice one that can also whip ass? That like part of him being a nice boy is like kicking a lot of ass. It's good business, but I understand. I don't know much about Dan, but I'm glad you're at least enjoying it. Lord Crashton says, I'm near the end of season 2 of My Hero Academia, which has been fun. Speaking of good boys, as everybody interning, Best Genius might be my favorite of the heroes I've seen so far. Lord Crashington, we are different people, and it's good that we're different people. Of all of the, I don't know. I don't think Best Genius is my favorite, I gotta say. Because I like the ship captain. I like the sea crew. The sea crew rules. I like the sea crew a lot. Because they're all just like fun. It's a fun bit of business. The seafaring hero and it's just like, I don't know. There's something about that. I think that's fun. Also, I like the martial arts guy that wears the mask, whose name I can't remember, but he's real fun. And he's like, are you talking to a boy? I forget the guy's name, but he wears the mask and he's a martial arts guy. And that guy's awesome too. You love Best Genius is clashing with Bakugo's extreme anger? Yes. I mean, the dichotomy is fun. I don't know why I can't remember the name of the martial arts guy that finds the time to kind of tease or but I do like him. I think he's fun. Oh, and then Ironhide the Fourth did have a bleach pun-based Ironhide the Fourth, of course. Listen, kids, never combine bleach and vinegar. It's an oxidant waiting to happen. Boom. I don't have that anymore. I don't have the toilet sound anymore. Closest thing I have is, of course, yeah. I have the sound effect, yeah. Which is, if you ever want to get rid of a lot of channel points, you can have me play yeah. Because that's worth a ridiculous... What did I set that at? I can't remember what I set that at. What did I set? I set that up. Yeah, John. Oh, it's 25,000, indeed. Yes, for 25,000 channel points, I'll play this. Yeah. John, just subscribe with Prime saying, I'll give a sub and a yeah, 24 months. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site the 2 years. John, that's 2 years of subscribing. Thank you so much. That means so much. I appreciate you very much for that. I said much a lot there. Yes, you're right, Lord Crash. Also, Ghost Valve does want me to hit the yeah button. Yeah. And I will. We finished the leg in like an hour because I was fucking it up. And 2 feet. But we got one part of this kit done. We're going to continue working on this kit on Saturday and Monday and Thursday. We might finish up next Thursday because there's going to be a lot. Because real grades are a lot. But we did get some done. I want to thank everybody for joining me here tonight. The good times are not over. The stream does not end here because we have to raid. We got to go hang out with some people and share the love and spend some time with them. Who are we going to hang out with tonight? I don't know. I should say we always end with the raid, as John says, indeed. Oh, that's right. Loading Ready Run has been doing a subathon. They got as many subs, a capped subathon. They've been doing a bunch of stuff. We should go and raid them. They're playing a game of Heroes of Arcadia. I played Heroes of Arcadia at PAX when I went out there, PAX Unplugged. Heroes of Arcadia was really fun, even as someone that doesn't drink. So you'll be able to pick up that game very quickly while you're watching this. And it's full of people that are really fun. So we'll go hang out with them. So thank you all so much for spending some of your time here with me. Thank you for John for renewing your subscription with Prime. Thanks for everybody that hung out. As I finished the kit, started another one. Thank you to the raiders we had earlier. Artistic Biologist, thank you for that raid. I hope you all have a great evening. Thanks for coming along on this raid. And I'll see you on our next stream, which of course will be Saturday. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.